Hey, it's Critic from Vision Happy. How often do you feel really down, feeling like you're worth nothing, not feeling really happy about yourself, comparing yourself to other people, really beating yourself up, not feeling good about who you are? So this is called low self-esteem. So how do you combat low self-esteem? How do you allow yourself to become more confident, feeling really happy about yourself, and knowing that you are worth something, that you are something? Really what it comes down to is self-compassion. Being kind to yourself. So how do you be kind to yourself? How do you become more self-compassionate? What I want to give you is about 4 or 5 steps of how you can raise your self-esteem, silence this inner critic. So the way it works is this, is that I've done my research, I've read my books, I've got coached, I've tried and tested these different methods and techniques. So I'm really hoping this can help you. So number one is basically being your best friend. So imagine you have a best friend who's going through some tough times, some challenges. So you comfort him, you console him, you support him, you give him words of encouragement. So you're acting and you're being a friend to him. Similarly, when you are in any sort of challenge, whenever you're in any sort of situation, because what happens is it's these different situations that happens in our lives that allow us then to have this inner dialogue, this inner negative dialogue. Yeah? And it's those situations that triggers that. And from those moments of inner dialogue, that's when you allow yourself to beat yourself up, and that's how your self-esteem decreases. So what you want to do is be your best friend. So as I mentioned, if you have a friend who needs your help, or who you basically console or support or give advice to, you want to become a best friend to yourself. So whenever you go through any sort of circumstances or challenges, you want to ask yourself, well, what if I was my best friend, or if I was speaking to my best friend, how or what advice would I be giving him? What would I be saying to him? How will you be your best friend, and what way or what will you be saying to yourself as a best friend would to someone that he knows? So that's number one, being your best friend at all times in any given situation. Number two is you want to find out, or write down, get a pen and paper to hand, or get your iPhone and write it down, the different scenarios or situations where you have this inner negative dialogue. Write them down. So it could be when you're comparing yourself to someone else. It could be when someone's pointing out your mistakes, someone who's criticizing you. Any of these sort of circumstances, just write them down and find out, or find a response to those particular circumstances. Okay, so that's number two. Number three, and this is really important, is just as the other two that I mentioned, practice. Practice, practice, practice. That's all it takes. Whenever you're in these circumstances, you just need to continuously keep practicing in any given circumstances. That is how you allow yourself to be more kind and more compassionate. So you're not constantly criticizing yourself, which is what you've been doing. Number four, it really is about coaching and getting coached, getting some sort of therapy. Because what can happen is that we have these experiences in our childhood where we might have had abusive parents, or people who have criticized us, or things like this in our past. And we use these experiences, and these are kind of very strong references that as we're growing up, we use these references, and they become so strong, so strong, imprinted in your mind, that you cannot grow, you cannot develop because of these experiences that have happened in your childhood. So it really helps to have some sort of coach who you can really talk to, who you can feel comfortable with. Or, getting someone, a coach who's experienced in timeline therapy. For example, I had a client of mine who really wanted to become confident, but this person really lacked self-esteem because of an experience that happened in the childhood. It doesn't have to be childhood. It could be, you know, a previous relationship or anything like this. It's these experiences that really, you know, freezes us, you know, and we just feel like because of our beliefs from that experience, we just hold them to be true. So anyway, I was helping this client who had these issues, and I went through timeline therapy, and that really helped that person to overcome anything that was happening in their past, to allow them to then move forward into their future, to become more confident. And then number 5, I've had 3 books which I really recommend to you, and I really recommend you listen to them, read them, whatever you need to do. Okay, number 1 is called The Fast Proven Treatment for Self-Esteem, and that's by Jennifer Allison. And I've basically listened to that on Audible, so I think it might be available on Amazon or Audible, whichever you choose to use. Very good book, very good, and I really highly recommend that you read this or listen to this book. Number 2, you want to use The Gifts of or you want to read The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown. Fantastic book that will really allow yourself to look at yourself in a more compassionate way, so you can be more kind to yourself. And the other 3rd book is a book by Nathaniel Branden. You might have heard of it. It's called The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem. It's got a 30-week program on there, which will really help you to develop those foundations of self-esteem. So I hope this video has been very helpful for you. Please share this video. Please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. And remember, it comes down to practice. What I don't want you to do is just watch through this video once and not implement it. Watch it again the 2nd or 3rd time and get practicing, okay? Well, until then, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will definitely speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.